You're listening to the Mobcast Network.
Welcome to Mando Monday.
Mando Mondays, Mando Mondays.
Mando. I wanted to commit. No one wants to commit.
Can't trust that song.
Oh,
JD backed off.
I did because I had the wrong lyrics.
Yeah, because you had Country Roads or whatever that stupid West Virginia song.
So why is Country Roads in your head? I've missed.
Lane.
This guy.
So we have a guest
Country
who's not
on
mic.
We pointed.
We have an audience member.
Multiple
see.
fingers.
So why is it on in your head?
Well,
Point.
I'm glad you moved the mic over for
he
that.
Just silent bobbed us.
Silent Lane.
Silent Lane.
He is my hetero life mate, so it makes sense.
He's a good one. He's a good one to have.
I thought so.
So this week we watched Chapter 6, The Prisoner.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, whatever.
Meh. It was wicked cool.
Directed by Rick Famuyiwa, written by Christopher Yost and Rick Famuyiwa. It stars, as always, Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian. But then we get a whole bunch of new guest stars, so that's going to be fun. So ready? Let's start with Mark Boone Jr. as Ranzar Malk, also known as Ran. He's been in Die Harder,
Yeah, but he's also in Sons of Anarchy.
The Quick and the Dead, and the aforementioned Sons of Anarchy.
And one other movie you forgot.
What did I forget?
A movie called Dead Birds that I am also in a scene with Mark Boone Jr.
Well,
Boom, I am the man
You
who
are-
puts man in Mando.
But how do we get that to Kevin Bacon?
Because I eat bacon.
That's not how that game works.
No,
Bacon is delicious.
that's more of a Homer moment. Because it's delicious.
I guess.
So tell us about your moment with...
No, I'm in a movie called Dead Birds, and Mark Boone Jr. and Michael Shannon, both in this movie, along with Elliot. And I am a PA on that movie, and they're like, "Oh, we need a guy to come out with a long rifle." So I come out with a 4-bander, and I was a really long rifle, and I stand in the middle of the street and shoot at Mark Boone Jr. He rides past me and shoots me in the chest, and I die.
Oh, sweet. So you've been killed.
I've been killed by Mark Boone Jr.
Nice.
By Booney. They called him. They called each other Booney and Showboat. Michael Shannon was Showboat. Mark Boone Jr. was Booney. True story.
We learn something every day.
Okay, so Elliot was in E.T.
Yeah, and
So-
Nikki Acox,
With-
which I can't remember what she was from.
with Drew Barrymore.
Yep.
Go the easy way. Who's in Charlie's Angels 2 with Demi Moore.
Yep,
Who was in A Few Good Men with Kevin Bacon. So you are connected like 4 steps from Kevin Bacon.
that's what I'm saying.
If not better, that
Yeah.
if I spent more time.
Did a movie with Philip Seymour Hoffman. Was he in anything directly with Kevin Bacon?
Ooh, I don't know.
Nope.
I'm kind of jealous.
That was early in my life. That was like
Right.
early on.
Well,
I was a wee lad.
could have been later because he's dead.
I met Philip right before he passed away. Though.
So
Yeah, it was delightful times.
Okay, was it Capote?
No, it was a movie they did here called Love Liza.
Did they not do Capote in Alabama?
Nope.
no.
That's some horse shit.
Yes.
Sorry.
Welcome to film.
Right.
It's kind of like Pedro not being in the
Right.
suit the whole time.
No, it wasn't. Capote's from here, but he didn't.
But
have
he
like
wrote To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm just going to end that with a no comment. While I'm saying expletives to myself. Because we're friends. I'm just saying we're friends.
Yeah,
We
don't-
derailed this show so fast this time. It's not even funny.
Right. Like next you're going to tell me you're a flat earther.
No.
Well, I got to tell you something.
I'm just saying.
I'm force sensitive, which is the equivalent of flat earthing.
You're on the other show. That's the other
All right, look. My mic is an e-web. Let's go.
show.
There it is.
Moving on. So, next stars Bill Burr as Mayfield.
Wicked.
He was wicked awesome.
He's been in he's a stand-up comedian, mostly but we know him. He's been in Breaking Bad and Date Night, and he created and voices a show on F is for Family on Netflix. Then we have Natalia Tina as Zion. She's in Harry Potter and Game of Thrones.
She's Osha Tonks.
That means nothing to me.
She was Osha in Game of Thrones and Tonks in Harry Potter.
Sure.
All right. How are you a nerd?
I'm not. I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty, which we didn't do intros because we got so...
But we can't go... You can't guide us around Harry Potter.
I can.
Or Game of Thrones then.
I can. It's just... I'm just in Star Wars mode right now, so it's like my spirit path is on this universe, and then... I have to like get some,
No, he just says something like...
My spirit animal is not your Patronus. My spirit animal is not your Patronus.
He's like, it's cloudy.
Right.
Just
exactly.
ambiguous Star Wars terms.
Right.
It's cloudy. I can't see it.
No, ambiguous is like, well, from a certain point of view.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Oh, well, that's all you had to say.
So, yeah. That's all I had to say. Then we have Richard Ayoade as Zero. He's in the It Crowd, Mighty Bush.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
which is awesome.
No.
Danger Mouse.
Yes.
Well, I have to now watch it again.
Yes.
And then we have also Chris Bartlett as Zero. He's the body. And he was but he has a connection to Chapter 1. He's the ferryman in Chapter 1 who plays the little
brilliant.
flute.
Yeah.
But his claim of fame is that he was taught by Anthony Daniels to be C-3PO. And so anytime there was C-3PO when Anthony Daniels didn't want to do C-3PO, he did it. So he's like any commercial you see
or any grocery store appearance. This guy.
Yeah, that guy. This is the dude. And last but not least, we have Isabel Cruz Cordova, who has been a Mary Queen of Scots, Ray Donovan, and he's ironically enough, he is Mando on Sesame Street.
Oh, delightful.
There's a dude named Mando. He plays him on Sesame Street.
Okay.
So he's not the Mando. He's
Right.
just Mando.
Just Mando.
But our bounty puck goes to a specific actor this week. A wonderful actor who has some Star Wars pedigree with him, too. I'd like to introduce you to our friend Clancy Brown
Yes.
as Berg.
The Bergen.
Clancy Brown.
Oh, I just said that today.
Did you?
My kids brought me trolls and said they were a sandwich, and I said, "What am I, a Bergen?"
What?
You have no idea what I'm talking about?
No.
Well, we're on two different wavelengths.
Yes, we are.
You call yourself a...
Kurgan.
I thought you said Bergen.
I did, but he's Berg, and he was the Kurgan.
No, I got that.
Bergen.
Bergen is the bad guys from
Near?
Trolls.
Who watched Trolls?
I'm father of two kids.
I have 3. Hadn't watched it.
How old are your kids?
14, 11, 11.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
That's not for Trolls.
14, 11, 11 sounds like a robot in Star Wars.
Could be.
That is definitely, yeah.
Call it Sticks.
6 and 3.
Isn't that a Tool song?
46 and 2.
Oh, okay.
Close enough.
I've got 2 children, 46 and 2.
So does my wife.
So, moving on. So Clancy Brown has been in 2 Star Wars shows. This is his 3rd. He was Ryder Azadi in Star Wars Rebels. And he's Savage Opress in Star Wars Clone Wars.
That's right.
Oh, cool.
He is the brother of Darth Maul. He has been in the aforementioned Highlander. He's been in where I first noticed him. Really, honestly, was the Shawshank Redemption.
No.
He's Hadley, the officer. He's a dick, and it's great.
Oh, yeah.
He has a small part in Dead Man Walking. He's in Pet Sematary 2. He was Lex Luthor in the Superman animated series. Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob, and he was also in The Bride. He played the monster in The Bride.
You know where I learned? You know where I met him? From a TV show called Earth 2.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That is where I met him.
You know,
Straight up.
I
and
most,
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yep.
I most remember him from killing the brain or capturing the brain bug in Starship Troopers.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Also great
Yep.
sequence.
Yeah. He was a private in that, too, after
He was a sergeant and he re-enlisted.
Re-enlisted and became a private.
Great sequence.
Like, I'm not sure if how that works, but okay.
Because space communist reasons.
Right. He was born January 5th, 1959 in Urbana, Ohio. He's 6'3". His mother, Joyce, was a concert pianist and a conductor. His father, Clarence, was a congressman. He's married to Gianna Johnson, and they have 2 kids. He attended Northwestern University and was in the theater program. He collects animation art. For Highlander, he said that he made lifelong friends with Bob Anderson, the Swordmaster, for that film as well, the Star Wars trilogy. He said if he had not been an actor, he'd have been in this order: a fireman, an aristocrat, an archaeologist, anthropologist, a scuba diver, or circus acrobat. Was hospitalized.
Very specific.
That is all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
He probably meant that when he was 6, because that's how I was when I was 6. I'm going to be a fireman and an astronaut and a Jedi and
Right.
A circus performer.
circus performer, king of the Native Americans. And like, we don't have kings. Damn it. I want a crown. He was hospitalized after becoming sick from the prosthetic makeup he wore as Victor in The Bride, which made him reluctant to don prosthetics for his role in Highlander. Crossing over from Star Wars to Star Trek, he appeared in Star Trek Desert Crossing and was the voice of something in who's voicing Rebels, that's right. But making him the only one of 3 actors to appear both in Star Trek and Star Wars. That would be him, Brent Spiner, and Simon Pegg. So that
Brent Spiner, really?
Yep.
I'm trying to think of what he was in Star Wars.
He was in Rebels. He is the senator that Tavis, the one who was like, "Hey, the Empire sucks. I'm sending out all these messages to get rebels to come out," and
okay.
then he betrayed everybody.
Nice.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, what a jerk.
He was a jerk face. Are you ready?
Sure. For what?
The debrief.
I didn't know it was that kind of show.
Yeah, it's that kind of show. I need
Okay.
you to debrief.
Debrief.
All right, so the Razor Crest lands in a space station hangar bay, and our hero is greeted by Renzar Mok, who we're going to call by Ran because nicknames are cool. Rand knows the Mando and the Guild are sort of on a break, so he's got a job for him, and he needs the Razor's Crest. And this is we are going to take no for the answer kind of job, so I guess he has to say yes. So let's meet the team. We got Mayfield, a former Imperial sharpshooter who wasn't a stormtrooper. God.
Or doesn't have a rifle. Like, that was the part that confused me.
Yeah, I didn't really get it.
Right? Like,
And-
he's got...
and then he cheats because he's got a little robo blaster.
But, like, to me, sharpshooter is sniper.
Yeah.
But he was definitely from Massachusetts.
He was from... Which I
Wicked
want
awesome
to... I want to see... I want to
Massachusetts.
see Sith Ball for the Sox. The Black Sox, right? Like, come on. Because you know they're a perennial contender.
So I imagine, I imagine Massachusetts only just being like, because Lucas planets are all like one thing. Like Endor is a forest and Hoth is a snow. Massachusetts has to be like Southie, just Southie, the terrible area full of crime.
Yeah, that's...
It's like the town. It's a whole planet that's just the town, bridges.
Or maybe it's there's 2 races on it. One lives above ground.
Right.
And one lives below ground. The above ground are giant lobsters. And the below ground are the humans.
Right. I'd watch that.
Yeah.
And they're called lobstorians or something like a devilic or what is it called? A devilian?
Devorian.
Devronian.
Devil. I thought it was devil.
Which one?
Berg.
Berg.
Devronian.
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 I got stuff about them today too.
Okay.
Next we got Berg, who's a big old Deveronian.
Oh, there we go.
And boom.
We got a droid named Zero and a female Twilight named Zion who has a little past with the Mando. Question: do you think she's seen him without his mask?
No, I think he boned her with the
Parts
mask
of
on.
him.
Yeah.
Although those teeth scare me.
Just like, because they've done something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've whatever. It's
Yeah, they
called,
made a baby Yoda.
Yeah, made a baby. That'd be funny. If that's how that happened. I don't remember how this happened. So here's the plan. The group is going to grab a package from a New Republic prison ship. Mando doesn't want trouble with the New Republic, but a job is a job, and let's face it, after last week, he needs the funds.
And we need another episode.
Zion does let the Mando know that the ship's crewed by droids, and we know all how the Mando feels about droids, so that gets him involved. Zero is going to do the flying because he's going to use the Razor's systems to stay hidden from the ships. While doing that, he finds a transmission from Grief Cargo. Zero takes the ship into hyperspace. While that's going on, the others are below deck. Berg snoops around and is an annoyance. Berg teaches the Mando about his helmet, asking if it's really a Gungan. The Mayfield opens the compartment, finds the child, asks if the child's a pet, and if that's what Zion and him has made. He's kind of rough with the child. And then Zero announces that the Razor Crest is coming out of hyperspace, and yep, that's what it does. It just comes out of hyperspace, knocking everyone down. Zion complains that there was no warning. Bitch. So the team boards the ship. Zero stays on board to slice the cameras and tell the team where to go. The team avoids security droids and passing several human and alien prisoners in cells along the way. A MSE-6 series repair droid, otherwise known as a mouse droid, shows up, which Berg shoots at because, well, the Star Wars universe is big and dumb.
And so is he.
So is he. This of course summons droids on an attack. The plucky little group is pinned down, and the Mandalorian heads off. Mayfield's all like, "Great, we've been abandoned," but Mando sneaks up and behind the droids and defeats them. Mayfield isn't thankful and instructs Mando to clean up the mess. Straight up dick. Zero comes in to save the day by telling the team an alternate route to go. They get to where they need to be, and they're confronted by Anakin Skywalker. Okay, not quite, but a New Republic soldier who sounds a lot like Anakin Skywalker. Clone Wars. He's also holding a garage door opener from the 80s, and that may call the entire New Republic on them if it's activated. That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like.
Hey,
Any argument here, right?
If Obi-Wan can use a lady Bic, he can use a garage door opener.
Amen. There's some back and forth, and the Mando isn't all keen about killing the dude. There's an argument, guns are drawn, and finally Zion has enough and kills the dude with a knife. They find out who they need. But hey, was that garage door opener on the floor blinking all the time? Nope. Great. Zero says they have about 20 minutes before the New Republic shows up, and they have to move. There's a fight with a hovering security droid, but Berg takes that one out. A second one appears, and Berg throws the first one at the second one. They go all explodey. The group reaches the cell, and they release another Twi'lek, Quinn, who's Jean's brother. And well, Quinn and Mando have a history together because Mando has history with everybody. Have you noticed that?
He's like sand. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere. He gets everywhere. But in a twist, Berg throws Mando in Quinn's cell and closes the door, and Zion tells the Mando he deserves it. Things go into lockdown, but Zero is having trouble and telling them that they're going to have to be on their own. He hears a child make some noise, turns around, and sees the little tyke. Well, that's curious. He goes to investigate. The Mando needs to get out of his cell, so he traps a passing by security droid, taking his arm and using it to unlock the door. While the others are trying to escape, Mando goes pure Batman, taking out the others until it's just him and Quinn. There's a deal. Quinn will go with the Mando, and the Mando will get paid for, and all is good. So they leave, return to the space station. The Mando collects his pay and departs. When the ship starts to leave, Rand summons a gunship and orders it to shoot down the Razor's Crest. However, Quinn finds the New Republic garage opener in his pocket, and it's blinking. As the Razor Crest leaves, it passes 3 X-Wings who are piloted by Trapper Wolf, Jib Dodger, and Sash Kelter, who destroy the gunship and strafe the space station. Inside the Razor Crest, the Mando sits with the child and tells him he told him it was a bad idea. Back in the prison ship, we find that Zion, Mayfield, and Berg are locked in the cell. The end.
Woo-hoo. And that's the podcast. Thanks for...
That is gonna fall.
It's rather precarious.
Yes.
Is it less precarious now?
It is much less.
All right, cool. We're not going to tell the audience what that was.
That's fair.
Just leave it.
You know,
it's the Hitchcock method.
It's a mystery.
Right. Chekhov's mystery. So, what y'all think?
Oh, that's a gun.
Not my favorite episode. In fact, in rewatch, I think I did enjoy 4 more than this one. So this is now my least favorite episode out of all of the Mandalorians.
I think 5 is my least favorite.
I still think I like this one a little better than 5. Not much.
I didn't even remember 5. That's how bad it was. You're right. 5's the worst.
Like we just talked about it.
I know.
That was last week's episode.
I expunge that episode from my brain.
And I'm telling you, and I hate it. I bet she's a wonderful woman, but she just ruined that episode for me.
No, it just wasn't there wasn't a point to it. The problem I have with the center of this series is it's bookended. So you have 2 great opening. We know the closing at this point, 2 great closing, but the 2 episodes in the middle, the frosty filling is not very good filling. The cookie is better than the filling in this case.
So it's on Oreo. Got it.
It's on Oreo.
Yeah. It's an Oreo.
On Oreo.
An Oreo.
An Oreo.
An Oreo.
Yeah,
we have a new Star Wars character name.
Yep,
I'm an Oreo.
Yep.
An Oreo.
Comes from a planet. Half of it's black, half of it's white. I don't know what that means. Take it however you want. It doesn't have a molten core, just a cream filling.
Delicious
that you have to expunge with your tongue.
Okay, so
I got a question. Can you dip the entire planet in milk?
Oh yes, it's the Milky Way.
Yeah. beat me to
This
it.
is the Milky Way.
But it just keeps going in
Damn
and
it!
out,
Why
in and
are we
out,
not doing that?
in and out?
I'm gonna get my wife to make a Mando with a Milky Way, holding a Milky Way. That's like, this is the Milky Way. Done. No, no one likes my advertising skills. I do this for my day job, folks.
And surprisingly, he's successful.
Ouch.
No, because not all of them are winners. Come on.
Yeah.
Got to throw a lot of things to the wall to see what sticks.
Just cook it more.
There are some takeaways from this episode that are actually interesting to me. Canto Bright being mentioned. I've never heard that before. I guess I that's only on the other podcast. It was neat to hear.
There was a movie called The Last Jedi.
What? So anyway, hearing Canto mentioned, I thought was interesting. I like the fact that the Razor Crest is apparently, literally, a ripoff of Firefly to the point of it is a Firefly class vessel. That's the exact
Right.
same thing
Oh, yeah.
that Firefly had. That was the whole reason that no one could track it.
Yeah.
So whether it's an homage or just bad writing or a ripoff or whatever you want to call it, I like it. I think it's fine.
It's also the Ghost.
It's also, yeah, sure.
That's what the Ghost does.
Yeah, the Ghost does the same thing.
And I think really, if we're going to talk about what's a better ripoff of
Rebels is 100% a Firefly ripoff.
yeah,
I just feel like this
homage.
ship is closer visually.
yeah, visually look
Yeah, because it has two engines
Right.
on the sides.
They just don't rotate.
right.
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 And it doesn't have a big glowy butt.
Doesn't have a glowy butt. But then it's I kind of like the notes of him correcting him. I actually like the fact that he corrects him and he's not a stormtrooper. I like that idea.
It's funny.
I just think to me it's world building to me. So it's
Right.
additional world
like
building.
everyone knows that stormtroopers can't shoot, so
Right.
let's make that a part of canon.
Right.
And I like how he gets really offended by it, so it's funny.
But I like the world building. Like I like that we have this now. There's Imperial sharpshooters, but just like Cara Dune's, we have shock troops, rebel shock troops and jump troops. Like we don't see those in the movies, so I like that we have
We're
now
putting faces to characters,
to
which I think
different
is
roles.
interesting.
I want to jump to the end of this. I had a real. We'll talk about this in the trivia, but I like the cameos at the end. The surprise cameos at the end were
Oh, I loved it. Dave Filoni.
Right.
He's canon,
right.
baby.
So, however, just the New Republic just shows up where a blinking light is and just shoot the shit out of stuff.
I had major issues with that too.
I was
about to
100% like, wait a minute. How do you? You're just gonna kill these folks? There's no.
Unless it's some kind of wacky but like, what happens if Baby Yoda he's very Kevin in this episode though. He's home alone,
Yep.
and there's a bad guy in his
I'm
house.
aware.
It's straight up Home Alone. It's to me, it's the same problem. What if a kid touched the garage door opener, right? And then
Right.
trigger it so you can just gotta blow up. And what do? Are they gonna come to the prison ship and blow up the whole prison ship with the one dude, like their buddy, left on there?
Right. I don't understand the. I was bothered by that. I was.
Maybe they had intel on what they were seeing, this space station. They knew it was a pirated home base. Or they saw the dude from Batman and went, he's a turncoat and a dick, kill it. Or they saw the
I think they saw the ship.
The
gun
gunship was about
I
to
think they
take
saw
off.
the
The gun's
gunship.
hot. I think that, like in my head, justification was
Just
this
Filoni's
thing.
all like, look, blinky lights here. All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
But like that thing was like in a slingshot about to get shot out of the docking bay.
It
And
just entered hyperspace. I think the X-wings were guns hot when they came out of hyperspace anyway.
you know what? Maybe that's like
Well,
Bobo Squadron, not Rogue Squadron.
it's Wolf
Like,
Squadron, sir.
They
Of course, it's Wolf Squadron.
they came out of hyperspace like, we got to
after-
prove ourselves to Wedge
Yeah.
because we want to be a rogue. Let's go. Kill it.
Probably
No one's
by
gonna question
Trapper
him.
Wolf.
And if all the directors are flying, who's telling them what to do?
Well, okay, that's well done. I'll take it.
Bravo.
That was that's straight up a Mel Brooks moment for you.
okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I
You broke the fourth wall, but it's still in the story at the same time.
kinda
It's Blazing Saddles kind of thing.
right, or it's now from space.
Yeah, exactly right.
We're here now. I want to go back then. Win now. We just missed it. It's a great bit. So, like I said, I had real big problems with that, and then other things that I didn't really care for. I don't like the heist. The heist seems flawed to me, and I don't like any of the characters. I like Bill Burr because I like Bill Burr, but like
I think they started out building up characters, and then I think they just deviated into again, mediocrity. I just didn't find the world building was more interesting than the character building.
Right.
And normally in Rick's other episode, it was a great character building episode for Mando.
Right.
Which it did that here as well. We did get some Mando bits.
I enjoyed watching the Mando go all Batman. Like he was. Our guest is going to speak.
He raised his hand.
Oh, okay. All right. Speak, guest. Speak.
One of the
Closer.
One of the problems that I always had,
you know, like
the problems that I had with that episode is near the end when they took an aspect of Rogue One when it all went red, similar to Darth lighting his saber, and made it almost like a horror flick on the cuts and the jump cuts when Mando was taking everyone out individually and making him seem a little bit more than he was. I also didn't like the fact that you just betrayed him, yet he caused them like very little bodily harm. Most of them lived, yet I don't understand why, if he's so ruthless, that he just left them behind. Why not take them out?
So in response, I don't think he meant to not kill Berg because he hit that bitch with 2 doors. Like, in that second door, how is he not missing something? Like,
He's missing his horns.
Was he? I'll have to go back and see. I didn't see that.
Shear him right off.
Because oh yeah, so
He's missing his horns.
oh, is he?
They're sheared. Oh, good second take. Me and Lane getting closey. Yeah, they're sheared off.
Okay.
You see it again. He doesn't have his points.
Okay, well, but like, I mean, I thought he was a smear, right? Like after that second one hit, and I was gonna mention something.
Mando being not as vicious.
No, I don't know.
Because here's my thing.
Like
Go
when
ahead.
we saw Berg, they brought back Fireproof as canon now. A Devronian is fireproof.
Yep.
I don't know what that
The
means.
flamethrower.
Oh yeah, because
Yep.
but apparently they're squished by doorproof too, except for
Well,
his
he's
horn.
pretty strong.
But
That door. But it's he's holding the drop down,
Right.
And then it's the side blast doors.
and your ribs are pretty wide open, vulnerable.
I think there's a gap. I think is what they were trying to suggest. It's there.
Then how did he get back out? Because that was on the comm room, like the bridge, basically. That was the only way in or out. And so if he didn't get smushed,
Ezra Bridger would tell you, sir, air ducts.
Mandalorian, a lot of Beskar.
Also, we all know the in Star Wars there's only one size of air ducts, and those are Ezra Bridger size.
That's fact. I think it's more a matter of whatever happened to Berg. I think when he rounded everybody up, it's just an unspoken off-camera moment,
Right.
Because you're showing them all alive again in that space, so
Yeah.
it says that he did it. My bigger concern is, and I understand your point. I think though that what's interesting is Mando has shown that he doesn't want to kill non-bounty targets. He started showing that trend, I think, back in 4. There's a reference to it. I think it's 4, maybe 5.
I would dare say he shows it back in 1
Maybe so.
because he when he
But
goes
he
to
hesitates a lot about killing innocents, and
So-
so he even shows it again with Anakin Skywalker. He will not. He does not want to kill that guy whatsoever. So even people that wrong him, he still doesn't want to go back and kill him. It's weird. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I just think it's a character trait. It is plot armor. Could be.
Beskar.
all right, okay, so
Lane said it was plot armor. I was just reiterating.
so to that, he's our white hat, and our white hat doesn't kill.
Unless you're a Nikto.
Or a droid.
Or a
Droids-
droid.
yeah, right.
But you don't kill a droid.
They give him that hatred of droids so he can slaughter droids all the time. But when it comes to when he only kills no-named aliens, right? He's not killed anybody like we've seen, right? Outside of the
well, he's killed a bunch of Nicktoos in the very beginning.
Kill a bunch of Jawas. Like,
yeah,
that's
no-name
some
aliens. No-name aliens. That's no-name
Oh,
aliens.
so you're saying he's a minion hunter?
Right, so
Yeah.
no-name aliens and droids. The only time the last episode he shoots the guy that wrongs him because he's threatening the child.
Fair enough.
So
Who, old Cannavale?
right.
Yeah.
So he's our white hat. He's not gonna kill unless he absolutely has to. Right.
So where does that put Jawas on the sentient being spectrum? then?
Worthless.
Because he's just like
They're
disintegrate.
absolutely-
Like apparently to him, they're worth that full cartridge, which can't be cheap.
no. I'm looking at.
But he's just like womp womp.
I'm stepping outside of the universe. So let's look at it that way. So it's
The
like
Yuzon Vong?
yes.
No. Didn't we already go?
Why
here?
can't we just go with the Chiss? They live out there too.
But they're not outside the universe.
That's well, depends which Chiss we're talking about. There's some Chiss that are outside. There's some Legends Chiss.
I had a pun. Go ahead.
I like that. I had a pun. Anyway, so from a production standpoint, you got to have an enemy to kill. So you got a hero that you just can't go around slaughtering people because you just can't. So we'll give you a bunch of faceless guys, literally in the case of the Jawas and in the Stormtroopers, because he shoots a bunch of Stormtroopers too.
Yeah.
The Nikto, they're kind of faceless because we don't get any close-ups on that. And half time, IG-11 killed most of them anyway. And then you've got droids. And so it's like, when it comes down to who's he actually really like killed, he shoots Grief Karga, but in the Beskar on purpose. When he goes to Horatio Sands and says, the first thing he says is, I can bring you in cold or I can bring you warm, is your choice. Knowing that he's probably going to go, okay, I'll
Yeah.
He's not going to put up a fight. So it's more of it's almost like an empty threat. And when we watched the first episode, that was a cool line and everything, and it still is. But now that we get to know our Mandalorian, he's not a killer.
He's gonna bring him in warm.
He's not a killer unless he absolutely has to. So
Yeah, it is an interesting predicament that it puts into story mode, which is like to keep other characters alive longer than they need to be. Is that what you were saying? Disney. Yeah, okay. Lane says Disney.
I will counter with it's a kids show.
Isn't it PG-13?
No, it's technically a TV PG.
Yeah, so it's a kids show. It's a kids show. It's also on a kids network. Disney Plus, no matter what, it's a kids
Right.
network. It's a kids show.
Yeah, I mean, it is the G.I. Joe complex, right? And it's the same thing as wrestling. Wrestling follows the same rules. Babyface is white hot babyface is what they call them, and they can do no wrong, and then the heels do all the bad stuff. So anything that a babyface does that is out of character changes the whole spectrum, which is one of the biggest disparities I've seen on the Rogue One conversation. Again, what was it? Is it PG-13?
Yes.
Okay. Clearly making a statement when they decide to make Rogue One PG-13. Otherwise, I think you take away half the crap in that movie. You take away the adult themes in the movie, and you cut them out, and the movie doesn't hold up. There is no
Right.
story.
Yeah.
So I think it's just indicative of the nature of it.
I
Mando's a live-action cartoon to me. That's how I see
I
it
mean,
now.
it is. Yeah, it definitely is.
I'm fine with that.
You got me thinking. I'm checking things.
Get up on it.
There was actually a nice homage to some of the older westerns when you did have the standoff in the bridge that I thought was very interesting and well filmed. When you had the crew draw down on one another on what they were going to do with the soul guard in the bridge. I found that to be enjoyable because of the number of times that we've seen that in old westerns.
Oh yeah, good old standoff. Just waiting for the tumbleweed to go off the bridge. Tumble droid. Maybe there was a mouse droid just
Rolling by. So I listened.
So I
ahead.
don't know. You said that when Rogue One decided to go PG-13. I want to look at Sith as PG-13 as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but that's a very adult theme in Sith.
Just-
It's an extremely adult theme that has to do with some,
And the rest of them are all PG-13 actually.
yeah, after a certain point.
Yeah.
That's because they realized the audience had shifted, and I think that's one of the things that's a mistake.
make
The audience is getting older.
I just wanted to clarify that. I don't know. Just stuck with me.
I just meant with Rogue One is that way for, I mean, all of them are, but Rogue One specifically is for, to me, the war tone. You can't make a PG war film. It's pretty hard to do. You can't have any context without it. And the themes inside of both Revenge of the Sith and the other ones I think are consequential, but the Revenge of the Sith and Rogue One are both very adult theme driven pieces.
So if Star Wars comes out today in 77, like the 77 Star Wars,
It'd still be
comes out,
PG.
You think it's
100%.
So then you can't show a war film with context in PG.
I don't consider this a war film. It's fantasy. It's total fantasy.
That's
They're
what-
not showing but they're not going on the gritty inside of things. They're showing you sort of a glossy overcoat.
Yeah, but they don't have to. So I mean,
it would be almost like
I
a
don't know,
propaganda.
It ends with hundreds of thousands of deaths that we never see. But there ends with 100,000.
No, I understand. I still don't consider, even though it's called Star
Right,
Wars,
and not counting the millions of people who died on all.
I don't consider the original trilogy, or frankly, the Skywalker saga, let's call it what it is, I don't consider any of that to be war films. I consider them to be fantasy films. And they're Westerns, most of them by trope. If you look at Rogue One, it follows a very different pattern in terms of setting up character base and the just the overall look and flow of the film is different.
It basically makes the Dirty Dozen.
It is 100% the Dirty Dozen, which is a war film, which is PG nowadays would be PG-13. It's very violent.
Right.
It's a violence level is what you get.
Right.
It's violence versus action.
Right.
And there's a defined space.
Okay.
Star Wars is action. Rogue One's a little more violent.
Could have been way more violent than they.
Oh, it should have been way more violent. I think they should have gone and said, screw it, go for
No,
an
it's
R.
there. It's just we're not going to see it. It's there. It's been shot. It's just
Yeah, but that whole Scarif or Scarif, however you want to say it, but like with that when the AT-ATs show up, like I mean, you could viscerally feel, oh shit, right? Like from the guys on the ground, especially I can't remember who shoots the missile or the rocket at the AT-AT, and it takes across the chin and then looks back like you messed up, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to me, having never been in a war, like, but that is more of a. I understand what you're saying. More of a war.
It's a tempo thing.
Yeah, it's the feel of. You care about everybody that you're seeing on the ground as opposed to nameless, faceless stormtroopers
Right.
just getting waylaid by the hundreds because of a glowy blade.
So, fun fact about the Mando, I just want to share. I'll talk about it more on the other podcast, which you can listen to on this network.
on Friday.
So I listened to a fantastic interview with the cinematographer of Mandalorian to kind of get insight. And so the cinematographer, and there's lots of stuff I'll talk about on the show, but one of the fun things is in their office, in his office, on repeat, was a series, like a huge library of Westerns, and they just let him play.
Nice.
And so every time everybody came in and out, somebody would pop into the office, they'd sit down and they'd watch a few minutes of a Western to get inspiration, because that's how much that Western motif is very much part of, we all get it,
Yeah.
but it's that, like even in pre-pro and production, they were in
It
that
wasn't
space.
subtle.
Right. That was right in there. So anyway, fun thing.
Cool.
And I think that motif plays here with Mando not being such a gunslinger.
Right.
He kills with purpose.
I don't like the ending of this episode. I like the opening of this. I don't like the middle. The heist is. I get bored by the heist itself, and I don't know if it's because the set's the same and like it's a very dull set and it's.
Oh no, it's 4 hallways. I mean, it's the same 4 hallways over and over again. You can see them
like,
reconfig.
and it's like
The droids don't make sense to me. I have lots of issues with it. They shoot the droids in one part. They shoot them and stuff's bouncing off, and Mando comes behind them and
Batman's his way.
Batman's his way, and then the next time our sharpshooter is just blowing them away without a problem. It's just there's too many problems with this episode consistency wise, where you've built this world, you've shown us all these things, and now you're changing the rules.
It's
again,
like
it's a great
hyperspace.
quote. It's story armor. It's what it is. Plot armor, if you want to call it.
Maybe they had belief shields. Like at the beginning, they didn't believe they could get through the shields,
Oh.
and then once they saw
Yeah.
that it could be done,
Yeah.
because no,
was a real
Mando,
it was a real space
and then it was
jam.
like and then just bam, oh my guns do work, wicked, fuck, what, that's cool, right?
I like Bill Burr. I hope we see Bill Burr again. The rest of them I could care less to see.
I liked seeing Twi'lek, or he called her a Tweak or something. Didn't he have like a nickname for her? He slanged her somewhere.
Probably because he's from Space Issues.
But it was nice to
Right.
see. It was nice to see a Twi'lek that was not what's her name? I forgot her name. What's the
Hera?
green one? Nope. Live action. Only.
Ula,
Ula. Thank you.
Bib Fortuna.
Or Bib Fortuna.
one of the most paused scenes ever.
Yeah, I've heard about that. People get Jedi tapes from the VHS store. You know about that? You ever heard that story?
No.
Oh, so people would watch. So Return of the Jedi, right? That
Yeah.
scene
Yeah,
when
yeah.
everyone paused it on her.
Yeah.
At the rental houses, the tape would break, and it would break at that spot because it was the spot that people play because tape magnetically wears out.
Yeah.
And it was that little section that you would get the most tracking issues.
That's funny.
I had a friend whose family owned a VHS store or rental store.
That's funny.
Boob.
Look, it's a 13-year-old kid, 12-year-old, 10-year-old kid, whatever you might have been, somewhere in that range.
Fishnet.
Didn't do it for me.
I like me some Ula.
Just fine.
She had good teeth. She was a good person.
She was going to be at Pensacon,
Yep.
but she canceled.
Yep, she had good teeth. That's fact.
Yep.
It's really nice that she also. She looks really good in the special edition when she came back 15 years later and wore the same outfit and was
Yeah.
like.
Well, I was going to talk about this. I don't remember if it was on Last Mando Monday or My Star Wars Life, but what's up? What? Like, it still baffles me that Boba Fett is macking on that Rodian. Not the Rodian, the other dancer. It wasn't the Rodian, but
he's macking on the Twi'lek.
Was it a Twi'lek?
Yeah, Minion, I think.
Like what? What are you?
Maybe,
so
I
maybe
don't- no,
Mandalorians
no.
have this thing for Twi'leks.
Yes, they do.
Wasn't it the chick with the red hair?
Because that's how they make.
It may be the chick with the red hair.
I think it was the chick with the red hair.
That's how they make the baby Yodas
This-
to populate the planet. Yaddle came from one of those.
need a foundling.
Yaddle, what's his name?
Her
Yiddish.
name.
Yodel.
Yodel.
Hey, Yaddle.
Well, look, the fact that Yoda was originally called Mensch is a whole nother problem for me.
That's true. That is so true.
Oh my goodness.
What you got fact? Why are you digging something up?
Where make time.
I'm waiting for the facts.
Just
The
facts.
facts.
This is.
Scotty edit time.
It's gotta-
Do 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 do. Scotty edit time.
do country
Oh,
roads
son of a bitch.
Take me home.
Son of a double bitch.
to a place,
Oh,
I
fuck it.
belong.
West Virginia.
Mountain Mama.
Take me home.
Country road.
You ever been to Regina?
It's Regina. Oh.
Dear Scotty, I'm just going to tell you this right now. I'm very proud of you. You're doing a great job cutting this episode.
You know, Scotty needs to hear that probably.
Scotty, right about now, you're thinking to yourself,
I was about to funk soul brother the shit out of you.
I was going to go the other way. What's the Talking Heads? And right about now, I don't know the rest of the song.
Funk soul brother, check it out.
That's fine too.
Why does that remind me of Freddie Prinze Jr. though? Was that the one from She's All That?
Probably. Oh,
It's the redhead.
Okay.
So, all right.
confirming.
Confirmed.
Hefty
Can confirm.
confirm. Can confirm.
All right. Do you want to do a Phantom Pre-Zone? Oh, that's right.
No, I'm going to throw it in the other show.
I got you. All right. So listen to Friday for that one. Look, it's the worst episode of the season. I'm just gonna say it straight up. It's not.
It's worse than 5 to you?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
still got some. You got some Jabba tones coming out.
He keeps looking over, watching on Boba Fett laying down
no. But it's Jedi Rocks. Come on.
laying down his
yeah.
game.
Let's show some respect to the special edition. And so, I guess I like Amy Sedaris in the other episode. I know
Yeah.
you hate, but she's funny, and I like the stuff between her and Baby Yoda. The stuff with Baby Yoda here is not even. I like he's cute, but it's not fun. You know,
Well, it's not called the Kevin Show. It's the Mandalorian.
it should be called the Kevin Show.
You heard him say it.
Yep.
He has accepted
You're here.
Kevin
No,
as his.
you're here, and I'm your friend, and I was raised. My grandma raised me better than that, so I'm just saying. You know, it's the Kevin Show. Anyway, plus we got a cool mystery at the end of 5. So it's not great, but it's at least better than like. At the end of the day, they killed the. I think they killed the ringleader of like Booney.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
And so it's like, well, what's the point of this? If you're going to introduce a criminal mastermind and a team, why can't that be a foil later? And I know they put some guys in jail, and that's all right. And that it's like you hired these people who have some pedigree to perhaps have some longevity, and it doesn't seem like that's what's going to happen.
I think all of these one-offs though are like every one-off character we've met is essentially a Boba Fett. You can bring them back or not.
Right.
If you bring them back, they're super awesome and you can do stuff with them. If you don't, they just live in mystery and Comic-Con for the rest of their lives, right? So
Right.
I think that's one of the things that they figured out, that this entire show is based off a dude with how many lines is it again? 6 words.
right.
Whatever it is. It's some ridiculous. And so an entire show has been built around that idea. And so now they're like, hey, just throw some people in there. And if they come back, great. If they don't, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And I think that's what they're going to, with the exception of certain characters. Grief Karga, obviously.
Right.
And later on, when we see something truly amazing.
I think my biggest issue with this episode is the fact that it brings nothing to the story of the rest of the chapters. Like, there's no important thing in this chapter that ties into anything else, except maybe the fact that the Razor Crest is off all the
I was about
grids.
to say, that's the only thing. It
That's
answers
the only
a question
thing.
that maybe
and that's a
someone
line in episode or in chapter 8, right? Like, you could be like,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, we a ship this small does have cloaking device,
Yeah.
right? Like, I mean,
Oh no, it would have been better in episode 4
yeah.
because she should have known, right? She would have known. She would have been like, "Well, how do they know where you are? How are you sure you haven't been followed?" Or blah, blah, blah. But we still have the same problem with the DNA, whatever those stupid fobs are.
Trekking fobs. I was just thinking about
My
that.
chain code.
Yeah, it's your
Only have the
DNA
last
chain.
2 numbers because I'm Werner Herzog and I'm badass. All right, so here's some trivia. All 3 of the X-Wing pilots wear a yellow Rebel Alliance Starbird signal on their helmets, created by. Who created the Starbird signal?
What's a starbird symbol?
The Rebel symbol, Alliance symbol.
Oh, who created the symbol?
Yeah, Ezra or somebody, wasn't it? Some from Rebels.
I mean, like Lucas.
Sabine.
Sabine, that's who it is.
Yeah, Sabine designed it.
The Phoenix symbol?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking the actual Rebel Alliance symbol,
Yeah.
not the one from Rebels.
Right. So originally the sign of the Typhon Yellow Aces. However, these versions have been updated to include a ring of tiny stars around them, indicating that they serve in the New Republic. Our 3 X-Wing pilots are directors from the series. Big secret there. Rick Famuyiwa, who did 2nd episode in this episode. Deborah Chow, who did 3 and 7, and Dave Filoni, who did 1 and 5. It's hard to say that 5's a bad episode because Filoni did, and you're just like, Filoni.
I know.
But then again, so about that, Filoni's wrote and directed. He's got something cooked for season 4.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like he set up something there. That's why it doesn't.
Like by the time we've forgotten about it, like 5 years
But
from now.
but episode 1 was so gold, so it doesn't matter. He
Right.
gets a pass. He
Right.
gets the ultimate hall pass. Like he brought us into the world.
Now, season 4 is going to be like, hey, that guy on that podcast that I would listen to that one time that didn't like you, when you come back in season 4,
Yeah, exactly.
he's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, damn it, she's back.
All right, so Matt Latner, who we've talked about, plays the Republic soldier in the episode. He voices Anakin Skywalker in Clone Wars and in Star Wars Rebels too. He was in Star Wars Rebels for a minute. And one of the cells contains a furry Anananian. They're the same species as Rio from Solo.
Oh, nice. The Jon Favreau guy.
Yeah, the Jon Favreau guy.
A Wookiee.
A Wookiee. You ever slept in the lap of a Wookiee?
A Wookiee.
A Wookiee.
Sorry, I just love the way he says it.
So here's a little alien spotlight on Devaronians. Devaronians are from the planet.
Devil.
Devron. Or,
There you go.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
No.
It's Star Wars.
Yeah, I know.
The Duros are from Duro. The Calamarians are from Calamari. I mean,
Mon Calamari.
I was, for the sake of
What about the
brevity,
Tatooineans?
they're from Dantooine. It's weird.
Funny enough. Ugnaughts? A Noat. Who knew?
Yeah, is it really?
Yeah.
Noat?
A Noat.
A Noat.
Yeah, that's an empire.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
It's like,
Who knows that?
where are we? We're in the Noat system. Not much there.
Oh, great. I had no idea.
Oh, look, Lando.
I had-
Lando system?
A Noat idea. A no idea.
I know what? Right.
And you can be Landonian.
You can be Landonian in the Lando system.
That's right.
All right. So Devaronians are from the planet Deveron, and they exhibit great sexual dimorphism. It's a hard word. With males being bald and spotting horns, and females with no horns and have hair. They have black blood, have 2 livers, which make them highly resistant to poisons. Sulfur has been used as a stimulant on Deveron to enhance speed and strength. Their skin is also immune to fire.
Dun, dun, dun.
Force sensitivity is found in higher frequencies among Deveronians, but they have no force-based traditions. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did build. The Jedi did build a temple there.
Maybe they needed
According
some
to
fun.
what?
I want to say the online encyclopedia.
Oh, yeah, one of the. It's in canon. It's in the
Okay.
canon section. So, I only did. There was enough on them that all this is canon. It's all
Jedi don't devil worshippings.
Yep.
So, can you name me a famous Deveronian?
The guy in the cantina.
The guy that looks at his hand.
Yeah.
But it's not because it's an alien.
Yes, there we go. Vizago. He's a crime lord on Lothal.
Oh,
who
yeah,
deals
that's right.
With the Spectre.
The Travalago guy.
Good job, Lane.
Deveronian's
Trafalgar
first
guy.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Travalgo? He's that guy. That's all I can think about. He's like going to show up and tell you about a hotel room. Don't worry, it's devil worship. It's devil worship sanctioned.
Can you feel the force? do you like devils? Boy, do we have a spot for you.
we only take Mon Calamari flan.
We take flan.
And only flan.
Only flan.
Imperial crest.
What a flan. Oh, that's a separate show. I'll bring that up on the next.
On Friday. You'll be here Friday. And then, of course, the Deveronians first appeared in episode 4 and was created by Rick Baker as a background mask. He made a lot of background masks. And then Decipher was like, we'll name half these guys and give them
I'm trying to remember the name of the one from the cantina because he had a card.
I don't think he had a card.
He had a card.
If he did, it was in A New Hope.
That's what I'm saying.
The New Hope set. Yeah, the New Hope set. Yeah. But because most of the aliens came out of
probably will take forever to Google this because I'm getting no signal back here.
We'll just save it for the next show. All right.
Hey,
I will remember.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, not my favorite. You could watch the entire series and not watch this episode, and you'd be perfectly A-okay.
Bill Burr was wasted. Real quick. I like Zero. I like the idea of Zero. But again, I think everybody was wasted in this anyway. So it was like
It's just a flat episode. It was very procedural. Paint by numbers.
The show's so much better. So, but then now we're getting into the part 7 and part 8. No, chapter 7, chapter 8.
Done.
Two
Good
parts,
stuff.
which are going to be really, really fun. So we're going to have some exciting episodes coming up that may or may not have dark sabers.
Shh. Spoilers.
For a show that's already been out for a while.
By the time this airs. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. With that said, this is Scotty saying this is our contribution to the multiverse. Go out and make yours.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Mobcast Network.